Hi there and welcome to my channel. My name is Ian and I'm a hypnotherapist, and today I'm going to be talking to you about a session that I did. This will be a session transcript and it was conducted several months ago. This was a QHHT session and the client has kindly given me permission to share it. Some of the details have been altered or omitted from the actual session, but 95% of this session is as it happened in transcript form. And so I work with hypnotherapy to help clients find balance, answers, and healings that could possibly be all linked to parts of their subconscious mind. So I use hypnotherapy to regress people back to sources of their issues. These issues will reside somewhere in their subconscious, and what we do is we iron these out and fix them there and then, and this has great positive effects for their current situation in the present. So we understand the past and put that into place, and when we do that, we find that that creates an environment for the client to find healing. So therefore these sessions can be very profound, very life-changing. If you haven't already considered having a session with me, then please go to my website at igb-quantumhypnosis.com. There you'll find lots of information on how to prepare for a session, lots of frequently asked questions, and also customer testimonies and reviews. I offer free consultations. If you feel it's something that you want to approach me and talk to me about, then feel free. You can email me and I'll leave those details in the description below. And also feel free to ask any questions as well in the comment section. And so for the session itself, I'm just going to talk briefly on setting the scene before I start the transcript. But my client came into a scene where they were a young female. And this is quite common for people to experience the opposite sex in past lives. And these normally have meanings that their subconscious is trying to show them, and therefore there's a reason behind it. But nonetheless, we try not to make any judgments on why or what is happening. We just tend to just follow the story, and the client acclimatizes to that quite nicely. But yes, this scene was 17th century possibly. There were pieces of evidence to suggest that that was the time period. When I do these types of sessions, there may be little clues and hints to give you an idea of the actual time period, especially with regards to clothes, cutlery, tools, you name it. There's loads of ways of finding and pinpointing a rough time period. But yes, 17th century Scotland possibly, and it felt like she was part of a regal family. Definitely had an important role to play within this castle, within this community. So I just want to break down the dynamics of this session a little bit in a lovely analogy of a cloth and a needle and a thread. On the one side of this cloth you have the present, and on the other side you have the past. And the session itself is this needle and thread. It's weaving between the two. It's going from one side to the other. And it's allowing this connection, this beautiful connection. It was such a heartfelt connection, an emotional connection. Not only did the client feel, but I experienced as a practitioner, that almost as if the information that was being conveyed by the Queen was actually meant for others, including myself. Hence why I'm sharing it. But yes, that's what makes these types of sessions very real. So we established that my client was this young female. And what unfolded was that she made her way back to this, what appears to be a castle, made her way through the courtyard, made her way back to her bedroom. Within the bedroom there was a 4-poster bed. And then in walks her mother, the Queen. And they have this conversation. And it wasn't your usual conversation from the daughter's point of view. The daughter felt a little bit uneasy, that it felt as if there was some sort of teaching or something important to be adhered to. So nonetheless, it made her feel nervous. So that was kind of felt through the client. But no, the conversation felt sometimes like the mother was actually speaking. So therefore, I will try to clarify that during the transcript to when I think it's, well, when I know it's her mum that's speaking the answer. So here we go. Tell me what's happening. I'm sitting on the bed. My mum is coming in to speak. What does she want to talk about? She says she needs to speak to me, that she needs to tell me something about me. So let's go ahead and see what she has to say. I'm asking her. Her mum says, destined for greater things, but you have to learn about you and your body. And how does that information sit with you? I'm a little confused. Do you ask her to expand on this, or does she expand on this? She says, greater things, it's to be an important figure for other people, as though to be part of the royalty, and your duties there, to also look after people as well. And you have to prepare for that, both in mind, spirit, and body. Where does she get this knowledge from that she is sharing with you? Higher masters, she's telling me. How does this conversation sit with you afterwards? It feels right, but I'm a bit confused. I'm a bit frightened. And where do you feel these doubts have come from? What's happened in the past that's caused you to think like this? She says I was born with both male and female, and the female is very prominent, that I am extra special. A conscious snigger came from my client at this point. There's something about me that most people don't have. Is she able to tell you what? It's a glow or a presence on a higher level. And how does it feel to be told this? Happy-ish? It's the unknown. And does she have these qualities also? Yeah. And how does she use them? She uses them as part of her queen duties. She is very regal, serene, controlled and poised. Is this something you can look up to then? Yeah. Presence. People listen. So does it feel you need to get used to this information and grow? Well, yeah, because I got a fright. I knew that there was something important, and she was coming to tell me specifically. It wasn't normal. I knew there was something different in me. And did she tell you how to use this? Yeah, I just got to throw off the shackles of everything and just be. I'm already there. I just got to be me and throw off the worry in me again. Her mum said, be natural, be yourself, and let you and the things will happen for you in the right time, in the right place, and not to fight things. Don't fight it. And this is valuable information from her, isn't it? I've been a bit of a rebel, fighting things. And not to do that. Is there anything more of importance about this scene? Recognizing you for who you are, your true self, your body, accepting who you are, a bit of a tomboy. Talk of life, her mother says. What sort of things can you talk of in that life that are important, that have happened to you already? What can you reflect on? Her mum said, being loved, and you were brought up well, and included in the big table, and given your space, given your free choice, and all the while encouraged to be your fullest self. Be that person that the world needs, that people need, to live a lovely life and be happy. Enjoy it in your own truth. And it's to make sure that you know this special best thing that you have in you that needs to come out. So is it that you feel within you that needs to come out? To take over from mum? To take over the role that she's playing? Yeah. Like she's teaching you to follow in her footsteps. Her mum said, you're at an age now that you need to know a lot of things. And she teaches you quite a lot then. She starts to teach me basics. So what other things does she decide to teach you about? She keeps pointing to my body. Which part of the body is she pointing to? The chest. She says to accept my chest. And what is wrong with it in your eyes that you don't accept? It's female. And does she teach you how to accept it? Yeah. And how does that sit with you? My client gave a little giggle. Love yourself. Love you. Love everything about you. Because you have been hiding and fighting it. And there's great beauty there, her mother says. And how does that make you feel? I trust her. I love her. And it makes me feel glowing. And there's more of a light on me, on that area of the body that there was before. It's more prominent. And what can that be used for? Great strength is the first thing that came to mind. And is she teaching you to use this great strength? Accept your body and the feminine form, her mother said. She's teaching me about life and what to expect, how to deal with people, how to love people, romance, how to love people properly. And how does she go about teaching the lessons there? I'm asking. A short pause. It's to connect with them first, reaching out, but let them see your love. Let them see your vibrance. Let them see your strength. Let them see you, your true self. Let them see the boundaries, the borderlines. Accept and not accept. What sort of boundaries should be set? Not to let people walk all over you. Keep serene, keep in control, keep happy. And what would happen if these boundaries were broken? It would be dark. You wouldn't glow. It would go to dark straight away. So it's important to maintain these boundaries then. Is this what she teaches? She's got very strict boundaries, but that's to love yourself. Don't have any expectations of people. Be yourself. Accept you and your body. Be regal, serene, but strong. These lessons that she teaches, how often does she sit down with you and share this knowledge with you? It's just started coming in now. And how do you feel now? More grown up. I feel love here. Encouraged. Do you feel you'll be able to apply this knowledge for the better outcome for yourself? She must love you very much. Yeah, in the right way. Now, my client at this point in the session experienced a welling up of emotions, and there was a release, and allowed him to connect to the emotions and just let it flow. And just shortly after that, I asked if there was anything that he, as that young girl, would like to say to his mum, the Queen, in that scene. And he said, I don't know, it just makes me want to cry. So just connect with that emotion. Too long in the shadows. And do you feel like you found a light now for you to focus on? The client took a deep breath. I didn't want to face things and hid in the shadows. I had no boundaries. I wanted to have fun and enjoy, but not fully embrace everything, the changes in life. And it was these changes that your mum was making you aware of and teaching you about. It makes me feel, it makes me glow. It makes me feel a light. It makes me feel light in my chest. I've not to fight. She is very patient. Now is the right time. So these things need to go that were causing the darkness. Yeah. What sort of advice does she have there? Associate with the right people, she says. It's all about energy. Does it feel like all the darkness has gone? In the corner of the room, the far side near the bed. It's there if you wander into it. But she is very strong, her mother said. Yeah, she's able to speak to me quite quietly and forcefully, so you believe her and accept it. She says I'm very strong because I am a strong fighter, a very strong fighter, more than she thought I was. She made a mistake there. Her mother realized that she was underestimating her daughter's strength. How does this make you feel? Good in a way, and not good in another. But now you've gained all this knowledge, you can use it to make yourself strong. Focus, her mother says. Focus that strength. You're frightened of yourself. Does she advise on how to keep the darkness away? Loving yourself and having these boundaries, who you are going to be. doesn't detract from who you are today, but you are. Higher message. Queen. And what is the higher message to do with this Queen? That I have the presence of this financial ability to help a lot of people. And how does that responsibility feel? That's fine. I'd like to do that. And would that work? How would that affect you? What sort of benefits would you get from that work? Just to see happiness and smiles on people's faces. There's too much sadness in the dark corners. Is there any more information that we can gather from this scene? She's standing there expressing her love. You need to go as you are, she says, as she smiles. A very loving smile. I haven't seen it before. It makes me want to cry. Let's just go ahead and connect to that and feel that love, that unconditional love. It is unconditional. She doesn't care how I look. I am very attractive. Long blonde hair, fair skin, high cheekbones. And you feel very attractive? Yeah, slim. And she's just telling you to accept you the way you are. Just be who you are. So often, get rid of any inhibitions of who you are. You're never alone, her mother remarked. So let's just close that scene. Strong, strong, strong. It's important to feel strong? Yeah, very. So let's just close that scene down. No. Now at this point in the session, normally I get the client to move forward to another important day within that life if I feel I exhausted the information from that scene, but it was clearly not exhausted and it felt like there was more to come. This rarely happens in a session where the client is adamant of telling me more, so the client just goes ahead and says no. Because is there more information to come from this scene? Yeah. Let's just see what happens then. What does she need to say? You will be above a lot of people, but not in a snobby way. You're looking down, not in a superior way. You'll radiate out to others. Your life is changing. Changing from today. You're getting out and you're walking down that hall to the door and you're going into the big hall with more responsibility. But it's easy. It's easy because you're so strong. You just need to be yourself. Take your seat aside us. It's not quite the same as us. It's down beside us, slightly lesser. Have a chair, a wooden chair, and you will see what goes on in a nice way. What sort of advice and say do you have? She's telling me, turn out what's inside you, the outside in and the inside out. Well dressed, straight back, and be very loving and alive, her mum said. She accepts me. She likes to hold my hand. I like to hold her hand. There's so much love then. Yeah. Wonderful. So what do you decide to do next? I go sit with them on the throne beside them. And what is happening? There's a lot going on. Is there other people there? Explain to me what is happening around you. There's people moving about, and there's lots of people in the middle coming for advice on things. Does this happen often? Yeah, daily. People seeking advice? Yeah, advice and help with things. What sort of things do you have to deal with? Well, they're just letting me have a go just now. Just letting me watch what's going on. They try me out with a few of them. And how does it feel to be offering this advice to other people? It's easy. You just say what's in your heart. So how are the people affected by this advice? Not to be your pseudo-self. It won't come out right if you're speaking from your ego and giving them advice from your ego. Taking from their cup. Give from your full cup. The overflow from your cup. Give it to them. So this is easy then. Yeah, because you know it's coming from your heart. Have a strong heart, strong love. It's not all good news for them, but that's fine. You feel you need to tell them certain things? You're cruel to be kind. Sometimes truth hurts. So all this knowledge is an overflow from the heart connection that you have with them. Yeah, it's easy. It's easy. And so your mum has done this for a very long time, has she? Yeah, same as my lifetime. She's looking down with love, pride. She knows you're going to be doing a good job. You've turned a corner, come out of the shadows, and you're sitting helping people. Some people need to help themselves and dismiss. Some people need help. Some people are on their last legs. This is wonderful knowledge. People have animals in their arms, and I don't know why. Are they pets? They have them in their arms. They use them as gifts for payment for the advice, to show their appreciation. They don't have money. Are these accepted? Oh yeah, but they don't allow to be given back. So they get it to come back to them twofold as advice. Yeah, we got to make sure we're not short. And does this counselling run for most of the day? Yeah, but not so that it tires you. Sharp focus, about 6 hours. Is it quite energetic work that comes naturally? Yeah, it is tiring though. What do you do to recharge and rest? Oh well, out in the sun, in the garden, and we play. So the next part took me by surprise in the session. This is quite common in some sessions for a client to leapfrog, and there was information that I have actually omitted from this transcript to suggest that we were in the present. So when this happens though, it's normally happening for a reason, but it was quite evident that the reason for it happening in this session was that my client needed to draw his attention to somebody, and the rest of the session continues with me exploring this. My client says, see Jane. See somebody called Jane. What's important about Jane? She is full of energy. And what can you learn from this? Committed, full of energy. She's happy. She's got her own troubles, but she puts them aside, and she's a good teacher. And what is she showing you? Balance. She cares. Is there a connection there between you and Jane? Yes and no. It's to share energy at the moment, to keep me fit because of what's to come. It can be quite taxing on the body, and she sees you, she knows you, she knows the energy. She is there to help and guide you. What sort of advice does she have? Be happy. It gives you energy. Be yourself, and that gives you the energy. You've got a long time to go, and you need to be fit. So what else is going on around? She's looking up, smiling. She sees you. In her eyes, though, she's a little bit frightened too. And what's she frightened of? Just connect to her and find out what she's frightened of. And it was around here in the session that I realised that he'd actually leapfrogged into the present lifetime. She needs me to help her. So what can you do to help? Nothing at the moment. Do you have to wait until your cup is full? Yeah, my cup is just filling up. It's coming to the brim now. It's just a light atmosphere. Do you see your cup overflowing now? Yeah, she's kind of in the shadows. Do you think that you'll be able to offer her advice about coming out of the shadows now that you have learnt this information? Move out into the sun. Come out of the cold shadows. Everybody needs to come out into the sun. There's too many people in the cold shadows. Too many people hiding in the corners under stones. Love is the power. It's not soft. It's power. People think it's soft, but it's not. It's extremely powerful. There is no limit. She is half in and half out, but she needs to come out of the shadows. Lots of other people out there. There's a big wall casting a shadow, following the sun around the garden. Follow that sun. And in that sun, will it help energize? Yeah. The crowds are in the shadows. Actually, there's not many people in the sun. The children are in the sun because they are innocent and they don't have an ego. It bothers me there's so many people in that shadow, crouching down. There's so many I can't make out. There's so many numbers. So yeah, we had a toilet break, and then when we came back, this is where I think the session kind of flipped back. The stitch kind of came back on itself through time, and it was back to the castle garden, where there were people in the shadows with him, and there was children playing in the sun. So we explored this scene. It bothers me there's so many people in the shadow, crouching down. There's so many I can't make out numbers. What are they doing in the shadow? They are all crouching down with their heads in their hands. They're frightened. They're frightened of themselves, frightened of living, frightened of dying, caught up in their ego. And what do you feel drawn to do next? I'm not being selfish, but I need to energize myself. And what are you doing once you're energized? Help the children first. Be to them what my mother was to me, but they know that already. And what do you do to help the children? Speak to them. Show love to them. Everything flows from them. You don't need to worry. That's your ego. That's your ego if you worry. And what can you advise about the ego? It's there to keep you safe only when needed. People think it's them. I thought it was me. Living the lives through the minds doesn't fulfill them, and they are frightened, and more frightened, and more detached. But they can turn around very quickly. They just need to step out of the shadows. There's a fine line between the sun and the shadow. You can stick a limb out of the shadow and into the sun, but it's only partially healing you, and it can equally be withdrawn. When you come out into the sun fully, you can never go back into the shadows because you have been exposed to the sun and you don't want to go back to the shadow once you see the sun. And is it something that you feel drawn to show these people that are in the shadows? Yeah, there's nothing to fear. Is this what you tell them? What do you do next? I show them, because they can see from the shadows to the sunlight. They can see me in the sun. There is no wall. The wall is on the other side, causing the shadow. So they see me and the children, and they see the key people in my life. They see me, my mum, my dad, and I lead by example. I can't tell people to come. They have to want to. And how are they reacting to you in the sun? I don't confront them. I show them I'm happy and warm. God's sun is shining on me, not on you. You're cold, weary, and tired. You're frightened. It's a shame because sometimes it's not their fault. Sometimes it's depending on what they have done that they can. I want them to come out of the shadows. Will it teach them a lot about themselves if they want to come out of the shadow? Yeah, and they can look at their wall and their shadow and their people that are sitting there and doing the same. I can't do it all. It needs no resistance coming from the dark into the light. You don't have to fight. Can it be an easy transition? You need to stand up first. And what else is important? I show them what happiness is, show them what love is, and the effortlessness of life. And how is that received? They know it's true, but the ego keeps them stuck. The egos are big and small. And if you were to teach someone about the ego, what would you say to them? It keeps you safe from running across the road. It keeps you safe if you're going to be attacked. Short bursts only. Like a primal instinct then. Yeah, exactly. Primal. Wonderful. It's there to keep you safe when needed. But life isn't all about being safe. You don't need ego. God wants us to remember what love is, because that's the essence. People need to learn. They know it and have it. Just don't let it, and it's a shame. There's far more to life than the imagination, but the imagination is curtailed, and it shouldn't be. They need to stand up, remove themselves from the shadow. And do some of them do this? I see a leg and an arm coming out of the shadow, but it can be taken away and they can fall back. They are unbalanced. So they have to be fully committed. You have to stand up. Remove the fear? Yeah. Be solid on your feet and make a conscious effort towards it. So is there a valuable lesson within this darkness then? Oh yeah. The light causes the dark, and the dark causes the light. You can't have one without the other. So that's what I'm saying. But it's not the dark either. It's the shadow. The dark is the dark, but the shadows are cast by the light. There's a difference. So what is happening now in this garden? I'm encouraging people to come out. There are a few. There are a few that you see potential in? Yeah. Are these the ones that you are drawn to? Not particularly, no. I'm going towards them, speaking to them. Jane needs to come out fully into the light. That's the first one. Get her out of the half and half. Get her to move it. She is doing it, but she's not happy. She's under duress, she thinks. The sun is shining on her, and it's helping her a lot, so I don't have to worry about her just now. So what is your attention drawn to next? Back to the people that are standing up in the shadow. They have heard my call. I need to speak to them in a loving way. And it's okay. And what did they do after you have told them? They have been crouching down, sideways to the wall, to hide as much as possible. So they stand up and face me. Face me, I tell them. And now what are they doing? They know what they have to do. I don't need to tell them. And how does that make you feel? I just feel like saying, come and join me. Some are feeling jealous. What do you tell them about that? Or do you have to give it any attention at all? That's okay. They will learn that when they come out of where they are, the jealousy will flow away. They won't have any space for jealousy or fear so much. They will become wonderful people. And then you can leave the garden, go out into the wider world. Is there more about this scene that we need to know about? There is some that are keener than others. There are people that are under stones for some reason. They are too far gone. How do you address these people that are too far gone? Shorten the shadows. Make them come out. Make the sun shine on them. But what about the stones that are on top? The energy of everybody to take them away. They are poor souls, but anything is possible. They have less of a place to hide if they come out. If the sun goes around to a different angle, then there will be less of a shadow to hide in. The session continued. What I'd like to add though, that this obviously was the past life section, and then we went on to do the question and healing section of the session, which proved to be very beneficial for my client, who recently just said that he's still getting insight from the session itself, and that's even months after it actually happened. And that's very typical in any session, that the client will, the more they listen to the session, the more understanding they get from the session itself. So I encourage everyone that's had a session with me, please feel free to listen to your session as many times as possible. You'll find you'll gain even more knowledge, even listening to it years after the actual session. It's like actually having the session all over again. But nonetheless, some people prefer to have a whole brand new session, and by all means, feel free to get in touch. So if you want to go ahead and book your very own session with me, then please feel free to go to my website at igb-quantumhypnosis.com. I will leave a link in the description box below where you can go fill out a contact form. I will get back in touch and we can set up a free consultation to discuss having your session. And also please keep in mind that not all my sessions are like this. This is a session which was quite extraordinary, and it was a joy to facilitate such a session like this, but they don't come around that often. These sessions are very personal sessions, so not everyone wants to share. So I am truly thankful to those who do agree to share these sessions. But no, majority of my sessions will not be getting posted. So please keep that in mind. Do not go in with an expectation when it comes to having a session, because we really do not know how a session is going to unfold. We expect the unexpected. We'll just say that. And that whatever happens in the session is tailored for you. So once again, thank you for listening. Please share. Don't forget to subscribe and also hit the notification bell. Give this video a thumbs up. And yeah, I'll be making more videos in the future, so if you hit that notification bell, you'll stay informed. So thanks again. Until next time. Bye for now.